Hey everyone, and welcome to What Did I Miss, where today I am breaking down all the major characters from the upcoming Marvel series The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, set to debut on Disney Plus on March 19th, 2021. After the success of WandaVision, which was the first MCU series to air in 2021, there are big expectations for this series as well, which promises to continue the unstoppable narrative of the MCU, but be a completely different tone than its predecessor on the streaming service. This series continues the storyline started in Captain America: The First Avenger, but that storyline was shifted dramatically after the retirement of Steve Rogers at the conclusion of Avengers Endgame. We have already seen the effects of what the loss of Iron Man has done to the world in the movie Spider-Man: Far From Home, and it looks to me like there are some big ramifications to Steve Rogers retiring as well. The need for there to be a new Captain America out in the world looks to be the focal point of this plot, and the moniker may end up being passed on to Sam Wilson, better known as the Falcon, or Bucky Barnes, better known as the Winter Soldier, or someone else entirely. Here I will go into the 10 major characters of the series and tie them back to events that have occurred in the MCU, as well as their comic book origins when applicable. Here on the channel, I break down all kinds of comic book and science fiction properties, so if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. There are a lot of big channels out there, and I appreciate all the support I can get because I love talking about this stuff with you guys. So if you do too, let me know in the comments if you're excited for this series and if you have any theories on the season. So let's get into this list of the major characters in the upcoming Disney Plus series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Don Cheadle as James Rhodey Rhodes, aka War Machine. We'll start with a familiar face to MCU fans, as Don Cheadle as Rhodey has been in more MCU properties than anyone else appearing in the series. Rhodey actually has his own series set to air in 2022 named Armor Wars, and it is said that something will happen in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier that ties into that series. I'm sure that he will have a lot in common with Bucky and Sam, since Rhodey has just lost Tony Stark, who is also his friend, mentor, and sometimes partner. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the show dealt with Rhodes' guilt about the loss of Tony Stark and how it relates to his identity as a hero now, and if people expect him to take up the mantle of Iron Man, similar to how the series is searching for a new Captain America. Don Cheadle actually was the one to reveal the news of his involvement in the series, and he made it sound like he would be in it for a few episodes. But given his status as the only Avenger left and his ties to Tony Stark, I'm sure that his scenes will be exciting and meaningful to the series. Georges St. Pierre as Georges Batroc. Another familiar face to not only MCU fans, but MMA fans, GSP will be returning as the leaping villain Georges Batroc. A legend of the sport of mixed martial arts, having been a long-standing champion in the UFC before his appearance in the MCU, Georges St. Pierre made a noteworthy appearance as the character, and fans have wondered what has happened to this thrilling villain since. He last appeared in the movie Captain America: The Winter Soldier and had a terrific fight scene with Steve Rogers. Since the last known location of the character was in S.H.I.E.L.D. custody, given the events since, I would not be surprised if he somehow evaded his captors and was now on the run. There are also rumors of a team of villains being formed in the series, and if that is the case, I could see him being a part of that as well. In contrast to the high-concept formula for storytelling used by WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier promises to be a much more grounded show and is sure to include many hand-to-hand fight scenes, and this character is perfect for that. Since we have only seen him fight Steve Rogers, I will be curious to see if Sam or Bucky take him on one-on-one, as well as how they fare against a skilled fighter and mercenary. Carl Lumbly as Isaiah Bradley. Full transparency, this part has not officially been confirmed, but the strongest rumors suggest that Carl Lumbly is playing Isaiah Bradley, who is an important figure in the history of Captain America. Sometimes incorrectly referred to as the first Captain America, in the comics Isaiah Bradley was part of an experiment to recreate the super soldier serum that gave Steve Rogers his abilities, but in his case he was an involuntary subject. He and other African American soldiers were subjected to various testing that killed some and mutated others, and whoever survived was sent on a suicide mission to Germany that Isaiah was the sole survivor of. His character does not have many stories over the years, and is more a cautionary tale about the treatment of African Americans in society, as well as its obvious comparison to the Tuskegee syphilis study that the United States government was responsible for. Over the years, he has become a powerful figure to the African American superhero community, but due to the experiments he suffered, he now has the mind of a child. Rumors are that Sam Wilson will learn of the character, and it will influence his journey throughout the series. The actor himself has played a live-action comic book character before, as he recently guest starred as the father of John Jones, aka the Martian Manhunter, on the CW Supergirl series, and also voiced the Martian Manhunter in animated form. Adepero Odue as Sarah Wilson. Our first character with no comic book counterpart, actress Adepero Odue will be portraying Sarah Wilson, the sister of Sam Wilson. Unless I am mistaken, which I could be because family histories get changed all the time in comics, but I don't think Sam Wilson had a sister, so she is a completely new character for the show. One scene from the trailer shows a sign on a boat that says Wilson's Shrimp Boat, which besides being a very meta Tom Hanks reference, may also be a reference to a family business that Sarah could be responsible for now. In the comics, Sam Wilson is born in New York City, and his parents are both killed at different times through street violence, which encourages him to move to Los Angeles. But actually, I believe now that has been retconned, but if I remember correctly, he did not have a sister. The actress is around the same age as Anthony Mackie, who plays the Falcon, and given the closeness of their character names, there's a chance that they could be playing twins. I would guess that she will play a big role in Sam deciding on his future, and may perhaps help him and Bucky while they are on the run from the government. Erin Kellyman as Carly Morgenthau. Carly Morgenthau is a role that is based on a comic book villain from Captain America's history, sort of. Carl Morgenthau went by the alter ego the Flag Smasher and was against any type of nationalism as he felt that it added to the inequality in the world. So of course he hated a hero with a flag on his chest the most. The character was also the head of a terrorist group known as Ultimatum, but it is unknown if this storyline will be used in this series as well. Erin Kellyman, who you may know from her role in the movie Solo, will be taking on a gender-swapped version of the character, whose beliefs are rumored to have been updated to match the current political climate. It is unknown if she will have any abilities, but there is a scene of her going to toe with Bucky, so she is at least a skilled combatant. It is believed that Carly will be part of a group known as the Flag Smashers and possibly be their leader, and that they will be working for the main antagonist of the series. Emily Van Camp as Sharon Carter. A character that so far is mostly known for making out with her great-aunt's boyfriend, Emily Van Camp is returning to the story as Sharon Carter and looks to be a vital character in the series. We first met her in the Captain America the Winter Soldier as the undercover S.H.I.E.L.D. agent living next to Steve Rogers, only to learn of her relationship with Peggy Carter at the character's funeral in Captain America Civil War. In the comics, her character is also the grandniece of Peggy Carter, is also a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, and a sometimes love interest of Steve Rogers. From the trailers, it looks like she is involved in many fight scenes, and while the character does not have any abilities, it is rumored that she may actually be revealed to be a Skrull or a shape-shifting alien imposter, similar to the one seen in Captain Marvel and Spider-Man Far From Home. Another new series coming to Disney Plus named Secret Invasion is to deal with this storyline, and there are supposed to be events in this series that directly tie into the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Wyatt Russell as John F. Walker. Another character who will be trying to take up the mantle of Captain America, Wyatt Russell is set to play John Walker, a character who has also been Captain America in the comics, but did not have a very long or distinguished career as the hero. Debuting after the Vietnam War in the comics, John Walker also goes by the aliases Super Patriot and the U.S. Agent, and has many of the same abilities as Steve Rogers, but is much more violent in his method. As the Super Patriot, he foils a terrorist act in Washington, D.C., which captures the attention of the nation, and the United States government decides to rebrand the character as the new Captain America after Steve Rogers gave up the role. He goes on a few missions as the hero, but ultimately his mental stability is called into question and he gives up the costume, but continues on as the hero U.S. agent and helps Steve Rogers from time to time throughout the years. I wouldn't be surprised if various aspects of his origin story were used for the series while updating others to make the character seem new. I'm also a fan of Wyatt Russell and have been since his appearance on an episode of Black Mirror and look forward to his take on a tormented character. Daniel Bruhl as Baron Helmut Zemo. Billed as the main villain of the series, Daniel Bruhl will return to the MCU as Baron Helmut Zemo after his appearance as the villain of the movie Captain America Civil War. In the comics, he is the son of the original Baron Zemo villain who fought Steve Rogers in the Second World War, a fact that I guess will be revealed in the series. Known as a skilled strategist as well as a scientific genius, Zemo is a major villain of Captain America and the Avengers in the comics throughout the years, and is known for his purple mask. Bruhl will be wearing the infamous mask this time around, as in the MCU his backstory and motivations have been altered greatly, since instead of being a Nazi sympathizer, he is a former colonel in the Sokovian army who loses his family during the events of Avengers Age of Ultron and blames the Avengers for his loss. Last seen being placed under arrest by the Black Panther at the end of the movie, I'm interested to see how the criminal has gotten loose, and I think that it may be tied to the confusion surrounding the snap caused by the Infinity Gauntlet in Avengers Endgame. Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier. One of my favorite comic book characters, Sebastian Stan returns as Bucky Barnes, one of the main stars of the series. Despite the name of the series, I wouldn't expect Bucky to refer to himself as the Winter Soldier, since the name was used when he was an assassin under the influence of Hydra, and since he has been given the moniker of the White Wolf by T'Challa during their brief scene together in Avengers Infinity War, but I don't know if he'll be going by either name in the series. During that movie though, he was obviously still very troubled by his past trauma, and from the trailers in the series, it looks like he may actually be starting to move forward a bit and into a new life for himself. If you remember, he is even more a man out of time, as he has been in cryogenic stasis for decades, only being brought out for specific missions by Hydra, and since his liberation at the end of Captain America Civil War, he was one of the people who were snapped away for 5 years after Infinity War. I'm sure a good chunk in the series will be Bucky not only dealing with his place as a hero, but his place in this new world. Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon. The last man we saw carry the shield of Captain America, Sam Wilson is sure to explore the legacy of the shield throughout the series. Anthony Mackie has always played Sam Wilson as a man of purpose, who understands his role as a soldier, and now he'll have to evolve into a leader instead of always being a sidekick. I think that may actually be a big thing for both Sam and Bucky to get over, as they have always been the ones following orders, and are now in a position in which they must be able to give them. Their relationship is said to be similar to that of Riggs and Murtaugh from the Lethal Weapon series, and from the trailers, I think that Sam will be the Riggs character, as he seems to be taking a lot of chances to perhaps prove himself. It also looks like his wings have gotten an upgrade, and we even get a shot of him using them as a shield, similar to the one used by Captain America. I've always liked the character of the Falcon, and in my own selfish way, I hope that he does not take on the role of Captain America, and instead continues on to evolve his own character. Well, those are all the characters in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series, but let me know, what did I miss? Was there anything I didn't go over, or do you still have any questions about the series? This is always more fun when I hear from you, so let me know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to get weekly videos about stuff like this. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time on What Did I Miss?